Okay.
Welcome to Joe's Atmosphere.
Cook your shrimp, please. All of a sudden, my shrimp pan is burning up like a smoke fest.
Okay. All right, boys and girls, the season is upon us again. Today, it's time to start off our regularly scheduled NFL pregame party with an off-season and Hall of Fame recap today on Joe's Atmosphere, starting right now.
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go.
All right, welcome aboard, folks. It is time for NFL pregame party, off-season and Hall of Fame recap. What's going on, guys? Good to see you. As usual, I've got Knock and Das Wolfen with me. How you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Doing good.
Yeah, I had. You're right, John. I did have a late night last night. We were up pretty late. We had the 100-follower celebration over on Rumble. So go check that out on Rumble if you want to see what we were doing late last night. We had a good time. A bunch of us got together and was bullshitting. But anyway, today our favorite game is back. Yay! And we had the Hall of Fame weekend. We had the Hall of Fame game between the Texans and the Bears, and which was actually called because of weather. I don't know if that's ever happened before. I'd have to do some research to find out. But I think who was ahead at the end of it? I think the Texans were. I think it was 21-17 when they called it. I think, or it might have been the Bears. Might have been the Bears.
I think it was the Bears.
Yeah, I think the Bears were ahead. Brett Rippon looked good in that game, man. But anyway, where do you guys want to start? I would say let's do it chronologically, and let's start with the off season. First of all,
Well, before we get too much in the NFL, I did want to do the college report.
yeah, and I was going to start with that, Knoxter.
Okay. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, I mean,
You showed up 3 minutes before we go live, and we get no pregame planning in.
You're gonna give me
So what am I
shit. You're gonna give me shit because my internet fucked up, right? Okay.
Details.
I see how it's gonna go. I see how it's gonna go. But anyway, do you have a graphic there for the? I was gonna.
I got
about
two.
the conference.
There was two things. Yeah, there was two things I wanted to cover. That's the conference realignments, just kind of glaze over it, and then the new 12-team playoff rules.
Okay. Yeah.
So just some of the changes, because we know the Pac-12 blew up. Basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's the Pac-2 now, right?
Yeah, pretty much the Pac.
Jeez.
Pac-2.
It's the Haku. Yeah.
But just some changes. ACC added Cal and Stanford. I believe they were in Pac-2. And then SMU coming over from the group of 5. So they get a little boost in their little prestige. I think they get no money rights for like 10 years or some shit like that. It's crazy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But at least they're in the ACC, which is better. So overall. Big 12 added a bunch of schools from the Pac-12. Specifically Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah. So that's quite a Big 12's trying to be like that number three conference, behind the Big Ten and the SEC. So definitely got some quality schools there to go
Yeah,
there.
but the heavyweights from that one are gone.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
two
Texas and
heavyweights
Oklahoma.
from that
They
conference
had to
are
yeah
gone.
they had to beef it up a little bit. Arizona was really good last year. Utah is awesome when their quarterback's healthy,
Yeah,
but they're
Utah's
they're pretty decent. But
Utah's always got a good defense, but Arizona, you got to question whether they're going to be any good this year because they lost their coach.
it's true because
Yeah,
they did so well. So,
yeah. Hmm.
um, but yeah, Big Ten. Big Ten got a lot of the good teams. Talk about man, Washington, who was in the playoff in the final game last year,
Hmm.
USC, UCLA, and Oregon. Oregon.
Oregon in the top
So
in the
I
Big Ten.
can't wait to see some of these. I mean, it's just not Ohio and Michigan now. It's and then of
Yeah,
course you got Penn State, poor Penn State. They had trouble with those two, and now they got Washington and
Washington and
Oregon, and
Oregon. Yeah,
it's like, I feel bad
yeah,
for
it's pretty
them.
tough.
So now they're like back in fifth.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I can't wait to see some Big Ten action this year.
Yeah,
And then of course Pac-12 lost everybody except for two.
right.
SEC, as we all know, got two teams, Oklahoma and Texas.
Hmm.
So, and they also got rid of their divisions. So,
Yeah,
it's not just going to be, what
it's
was
not
it?
going to be the
Georgia versus,
best.
what was it last year?
Georgia against everybody else. Yeah, right.
Missouri, I guess.
Hmm.
Or not Missouri, but like yeah, just that should be a fun series there. And then just
Hmm.
a group of five, not much changes I think in just SMU leaving the AAC for the
Yeah.
ACC. They did AC got a whole bunch of teams from the Conference USA, so
Right.
I'd say the AAC and the Mountain West are probably the two best conferences of the group of five.
Hmm.
So those are the ones you're likely going to see in that fifth spot in the playoffs, that group of five spot. You know.
Hmm.
Conference USA had a bunch of teams, but they also grabbed a bunch of teams. Jacksonville State was up from the FCC. They actually got a bowl game. They weren't eligible for the championship that year, but they went like 10-2 or something like that. They had a really really great season.
Yeah.
But they're now fully in it, so they can go. They're now playoff eligible, I should say. Um, and then we got the MAC.
Hmm.
Nothing changed in the MAC, except
Nothing ever
for
changes in them.
yeah, UMass is apparently joining. I guess they're independent right now, and they're going
Hmm.
to go there.
Hmm.
Mountain West. I don't think anything changed here. The San Diego State was going to leave, but then they didn't. Sun Belt. I think they added a bunch of teams. James Madison should now have a chance to do same as Jacksonville State. They were not eligible for anything last year.
Yeah.
But they came up from the FCS and were dominating right out the gate. So that's the realignment. And then the second thing I wanted to do real quick was just
Hang on, before you go too far, I do want to mention the fact that if you've been paying attention to it, Florida State may keep an eye on them in the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference. They first of all, what were the teams that came in there? That they acted like they were disgruntled, like they didn't want them in there, and a lot of people think it's leverage for them trying to get out of the ACC and go somewhere else. So keep an eye on Florida State. They may be looking to change
they're
conferences here
suing right
soon.
now. And then Clemson also is looking for an out as well.
Yeah. Hmm. So keep an eye on those two.
Um,
Okay, go ahead.
of course, we have to have dogs barking right fucking now.
Of course,
Um,
I like them.
but yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about was this is the first year of the 12-team playoff.
Yes.
I'm not going to read all of this, obviously, but I did want to read a couple things. The 12 participating teams will be five conference champions ranked highest by the CFP selection committee. So the committee's still a thing.
Hmm.
Plus the next seven highest ranked teams. The ranking will be continue to be done by the selection committee. The four highest ranked conference champions will be seeded 1 through 4, and they'll receive a bye. Um,
Hmm.
the 8 teams seeded 5 through 12 will play in the first round, with the highest seed hosting the lowest seeds, of course, as it
Hmm.
always is. The strange thing about this one is The weird thing that we may see, the final rankings may not match up with the seeding because any of the conference championships from the Power Five could be ranked outside of the bottom, or the top 12.
Mm-hmm.
But because they're a conference champion, they get an automatic bid if they're a
Right.
Power Five. So
Mm-hmm.
you could have 6-6 Alabama. That's not going to happen. But I'm saying theoretically, and they probably not even be ranked. But because they win the SEC, assuming they did, then they would have a bid. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, and then we already got the schedule for it. So it starts
Okay.
the first
Before you
round.
get into that, I did forget one
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
We
This
have
guy.
got to. Yeah. Well, you can get mad at me all you want, Homer. Just hold your
Try to get quick.
horses.
I'd be done already.
Yeah. Well, guess what? We forgot to acknowledge one of the greatest members of our team.
There are some who call me Tim.
Tim is here, and so is Wookie Be Bad. He says football again.
This
Just
stream
woke up.
is
Joe kept
football.
me up all night. I did not keep you up all night. Okay, knock. Go ahead. I'm
This
sorry.
is the one stream where it will pretty much only be football. So this is not the time to show up if you don't want to talk
That's
football.
right. Wookie knows that. He's trolling us.
Um, but yeah, no, it starts the first round of the CFP is the Friday, December 20th, just before Christmas, and then we have one game on a Friday night and three games on a Saturday. So that'll be awesome. And then the quarterfinals are during the week. That's gonna be interesting. Tuesday night, Wednesday nights, Wednesday. So we got one game on Tuesday and three games on Wednesday. The first the New Year's games, and then the semifinals the next week, Thursday and Friday night, and then the championship Monday, January 20th. And that's how the playoffs will be for this year.
It's so good because I have been saying for years that they've got so many bowl games. They could do a playoff easily using these bowl games. You know what I mean? And it's good to see them finally doing it that way.
Yeah, and I like that they rotate them out too. Like
Mhm.
the top six are going to be always be on there, but they're going to get some of the smaller ones in there too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. There it is. I'm sorry. I'm looking for some stuff. But anyway, anything else you wanted to add to that, man?
No, I just wanted to mention those two things. There was a bunch of coaching carousels, but we kind of discussed that before. I think on the last show, so not too worried about that.
The draft show. Yeah. Well, thanks for that, Knock. I was going to cover that myself, but yeah, a lot of changes. You know, I've said it several times. I'm an old schooler. I'd rather see the conferences stay the way they are, but this is the way college football is going. They're letting the money drive everything now. So
Them TV deals. That's why the
yeah,
ACC is so messed up because they can't get the TV deal set up.
Yep, exactly. And
That's why the Pac-12 got destroyed because
that's
of the
why
TV
they got
deal.
destroyed. Yep, exactly. Everybody's trying to position themselves for making as much money as they can. And I'd rather see the Big 12 and stick together with my boys from Oklahoma, the Sooners, and the Longhorns being there. But in the case of the Longhorns, they've got their own damn network and shit. It's ridiculous. They've got so much money. It's crazy. But hey, we're gonna suffer right out the gate in the SEC because the competition level goes up exponentially when you go in there. But I'm hoping we can end up like Missouri. Missouri ended up like in the championship game within the first 2 years, didn't they, John?
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. It's going to be fun to be facing Missouri on a regular basis again, and A&M. I always like beating the shit out of A&M. That's great. Missouri, not so much. They're a headache. But I love kicking the crap out of the Aggies. So that's the plus side of it. A couple of our rivals are already there. So, but yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to that playoff for sure. I might actually watch some of that this year. I don't usually watch any of the college football stuff. I let you guys and my brother fill me in on everything, but it actually having a playoff now, a 12 team playoff, and a legit playoff. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. That should be
Well, that
cool.
was always what kept me out of it at first.
Hmm.
College football was that there was no playoffs. It
Yeah,
was always the top
there's
two, and
always
then
ranking. Yeah, ranking.
and then it was finally the 14 playoff, which was okay. It was okay, but still not enough. And then once the rumors came about that there
Hmm.
was going to be a 12 team, that's when I really got into it.
Yeah, and you know what? The team playoff, like last year, Florida State weren't they undefeated and didn't make it? There was a team that was undefeated and didn't
It
make it
was
in
it was
last year.
Florida State, but
Yeah,
that's because their Heisman level quarterback got injured,
right,
and they had their backup got injured, and then they were
right.
down to their third.
Hmm.
He
Yeah,
didn't
and,
look that
and that
great.
and
So
that's really why they didn't put them in there. And they say this 12-game play.
you're going robot on us, Joe.
Huh? I'm
You went a
sorry.
little robot there. Yeah, you're good
Uh,
now.
I'm sorry. But anyway, there's always going to be a team bitching about something, so you're never going to make everybody happy. But this looks pretty cool. What's crazy to me is we're going to have teams in the Big Ten flying all the way across the country to play each other now. Because they've got like what 4 West Coast teams now: UCLA, USC, Washington, and Oregon are all in the Big Ten now,
Well,
right?
I imagine they're gonna spread out. How many? Because there's only what 8 to 9 conference games, so they're
Mhm.
not going to be playing every single West Coast team.
Right, they'll probably
It'll
play
probably
each
be
other,
one or
but half
two.
of their conference schedule they'll be traveling because most of the Big Ten teams are on the East Coast, so they're going to be traveling all the way across the country, and vice versa. Those teams are going to have to go all the way out there too.
That's
So,
true.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
preparing for the NFL. You're gonna have to move around. You're gonna have to go to another fucking country. Okay,
right.
so
Yeah, right.
get
Eventually,
used to it, bub. We're
I'm
going
telling you, man.
worldwide.
I mean, how long? Of course, we'll get into this when we get into the NFL. But I mean, how long do we think it's going to be before it's the World Football League? Before they put a team in London or Germany or one of these other countries? I wonder how long it's going to be. I still think the Jaguars are going to be the first ones to go. I think they're going to move that team to England eventually.
As soon as we get that bullet plane.
Yeah, bullet plane.
Yeah.
We already had one of those, man. They quit using it. The Concorde, man. But anyway, okay.
Once they work that out.
So, I don't know, man. What do you think, John? Do you like this super conference reset they're doing, or?
I think it's going to be confusion for the first couple of years at least.
Yeah, people got to get used to it. But,
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just I think they're going to get down to where there's just like 3 or 4 conferences and that's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everything
I
will be a
think
large conference and
yeah,
all the
Yep.
small ones will get swallowed up.
Let's see how long it's going to be. That's what she said. Yeah, that's what she said.
I do kind of wish that maybe they keep it like how it is now, but
Mhm.
they tie one of these group of 5, like they group these group of 5 team conferences to a Power 5 conference. And if you are just a shitty Power 5 team,
Mhm.
you get bumped down to the group of 5. And if you win your conference championship at a group 5, you get bumped up to that Power 5. They kind of connect them a little bit. Get their incentive for actually being able to move up. I'm tired of seeing Vanderbilt. I'm tired of seeing some of these the SEC teams that are.
Let me tell you something. My man
Garbo.
Cut Daddy would take issue with you talking about some Vanderbilt, man. Come on. Jay
I'm
Cutler
just
taking
saying, like
issue with that.
they haven't proved to anybody since Jay Cutler. I don't know, but
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah.
But no, I like the idea, and I hope this is something that I'm hoping that they eventually bring to college football 25 or whatever, future generations. I really want, like me, my favorite thing is to climb the ranks. So I want to start out as a Division III team.
Yeah.
And then work my way up. And that's one thing that's missing from this current iteration right now is that you can just swap conferences anytime you want. You could be a 1-star and just be like, SEC.
Yeah, I'm in the SEC. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they change that in the future. That makes it hard. Like you have to apply, you have to actually earn it. But I think it'd be nice if the group of 5 teams had a better.
You do know that those schools are never going to agree to do that, right?
No. I know. There's too much. There's too much TV money tied up,
Yes.
and it's the contracts are just the death of everything.
They
Anything
will
inventive.
They will never agree to do that. Yeah, that's for sure. Everything. Well,
No. It's wishful thinking. Absolutely.
Right, and that's what's behind all of this realignment going on in the NCAA right now. It's all about money, man. It's all about trying to position your school in a better place to be seen by more eyes, to get more money to your university, and it's just
I mean, to be fair, that's how it always was. It's just now they can actually pay the players.
Right. Yeah,
which increases the emphasis there. So I mean,
right. Ever since the name,
it's not like these colleges weren't making money before.
Ever since the NIL deal got passed, well, guess what? We got to pay these players now. So guess what? We got to get. The money has really started to drive it a whole lot more. But hey, I don't like change in my traditional game, but hey, it's going to make our team better eventually because we're going to have to compete and they're going to have to get better. Competition breeds success. So whatever the level of competition you have, I mean, the main guys that have been giving us headaches is, of course, the state rivalry. And I'm sure we're still going to play Oklahoma State. I'm sure we're going to do that still. I'm sure they're going to keep those state rivalries intact and stuff, but it'll just be outside conference play now, So, but hey, man, we'll see what happens. Oklahoma has been pretty much offensive oriented for a while now. I'd like to see them get back to a defensive orientation. They're going to have to playing in the SEC, man. You know what I mean? So, anyway, what's that?
Have to step up their game.
Yes, absolutely have to step up the game. Okay, so let's see. He says I'm a traditionalist, but up to a point. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, change is good. Don't get me wrong, change is good. It's just I like the Big 12 moniker, man. I really dug it. What did you think when Missouri went to the SEC, John? Were you behind that, or did you want to see him stay in the Big 12?
I wanted to see him stay in the Big 12 because they would have been a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Now they went there, and then within the first 2 seasons they're playing for the division championship. I'm like, okay, all right, maybe we're okay.
Yeah.
Then we had some low years because it takes time to get the recruiting.
Yeah.
To the levels of the SEC, the rest of the SEC teams, and now we're fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. There's going to be an adjustment period. The Longhorns and the Oklahoma Sooners. I think the Longhorns will do better than we will with the adjustment. Yeah. I think because they've got more money than God. That program right there has got Google's
and they got Matthew McConaughey. I mean,
well, yeah, when you got Matthew McConaughey on the sideline of every game, I mean, the people are going to come want to play there, right? When you got Cowboy Pool on the sideline, I mean, shit. But anyway, okay, what you got there, Mark?
Oh, I thought it was interesting that Oklahoma isn't playing Oklahoma State.
They're not. See, okay, now I'm pissed. I don't get to kick the crap out of the Cowboys this year.
Instead of playing Oklahoma State, you got Maine in November.
Why in the fuck are we playing Maine?
Cool, guys. Let's take a bye week in November. I guess.
Way to go.
This right here, I think, needs to go away. If anything, this needs to be up here. Where Temple is.
Right. Yeah.
But this is dumb. This is ridiculous. You know what happened with last time that there was a team, FCS team? Jordan Travis got hurt for FCU. So why are we doing these games?
Yeah, I hear you.
$15 to go see.
Wait a minute. Oh my God.
But
I'm looking at the last game on the fucking schedule.
LSU.
Oh, yeah,
I got
LSU,
Missouri, Alabama, and LSU all in a row.
That's a
and,
murder. Yeah, at Mizzou, at LSU, and then versus Alabama.
And I got to go into Death Valley and play my brother's team on the last game of the season. What the fuck, man? Yeah, come on to the SEC
that's gonna be a
where
fun
you're going to be
Sunday.
the fucking punching bag. Yeah, you sons of bitches. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thanks a lot, guys.
At least you'll get a tune-up game before Mizzou.
Yeah, right. Maine.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
God.
This is your what is it, motivation game, or get your confidence up before this murder
Tim
row.
says, I'm with Knock. It's dumb. I miss Nebraska, Oklahoma. So do I. Those big, what are they, Big Ten punks now? Yeah, they've been Big Ten punks for a while. Those idiots. But anyway, okay. Well, thanks for the college report there, buddy. I actually had something with all of that broken down too. I think it was the same thing though, but it was in a video format. But next, let's move on to. Do we have anything on the off-season moves for all the teams?
Actually, I do.
Okay. Well, then I was hoping you did because I'm not too up on that. So.
I know a lot of this. I think a lot of this we covered in the last show, but obviously there's been some moves.
Well,
since then, but I think a majority of them we
our
covered
last show
before.
was the draft, so there's been some other moves, but
there was big free agencies before then.
Yeah.
So a lot of the bigger names got taken.
Big things that have happened though is these fucking quarterback salaries. Holy shit! I mean, good God, man, it's crazy.
And Mr. Trubisky still gets signed.
Oh please, go away. Yeah.
Valdez Scantling is with the Bills. They loaded up on wide receiver.
I don't even want to hear about the Bills. They're you know what? If who's the guy in New England now? What's his name? The head coach in New England? Ex-player, linebacker.
The defensive player.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Gerard Mayo? Is that the guy? Look, if he turns things around, the Bills will be in the freaking cellar this year. They've just totally blown up that franchise, man. I don't get what they're doing out there. Did you see how many defensive players they got rid of in the offseason? It's ridiculous, man. Wow. And they got rid of didn't Diggs go somewhere else too? The wide receiver?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he went to the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're doing out there. They're going to have Josh Allen throwing it to himself. It's ridiculous. Okay, go ahead, bud.
And we got the Dolphins. They signed Mostert. He's a speedy guy.
Mm-hmm.
Ahmed. And they got Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
And then they re-signed.
Bounces from place to place now, doesn't he?
Yeah. And they re-signed Waddle, or they gave him an extension. So Waddle.
They restructured Tyreek Hill's thing to make him the most highest paid wide receiver right now.
Yeah.
Now this is they signed Shaq Barrett, but he retired.
Now how much was Tua's deal? Was he one of the 55ers or was he 53? I don't remember. I'll look it up real quick. Hang on.
I don't know.
You keep going, and I'll look up the quarterback salaries. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, the Patriots got Jacoby Brissett back. A couple Lobby wide receivers, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper. Nothing crazy.
Jacoby Brissett, yeah.
A lot of veterans.
Yeah.
My question is this: who's the rookie they signed? The rookie quarterback?
Drake May.
Drake May. Is he going to start? That's the thing. You know, we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Jets.
What's that?
Tyrod Taylor's the backup for the Jets now.
Oy vey. Who cares who it doesn't matter who the backup for the Jets is. What matters is, can they keep friggin' Aaron Rodgers upright? Because if they can, they legit are going to challenge the Miami Dolphins for that division. You know, I mean, it's just, I hate to say it, the guy is phenomenal. He does things that you can't coach.
Then we got the Ravens, who got Derrick Henry, who will never touch the ball, so that's cool.
Yeah, right?
It's a good use of a running back. Nothing else too much there. Bengals, Zach Moss. He did okay with the Colts when Jonathan Taylor was out. Franchise tag on T. Higgins. He wanted out. Not a whole lot else there.
Yeah.
The Browns got Jameis Winston, signed a 1-year deal. Deontay Foreman, Jerry Jeudy. We traded Jerry Jeudy to them. Steelers, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. Who knows? I guess Russell Wilson's going to be the starter.
Yeah, they have to do it that way, don't they, Knock? They have to have the veterans start, because if you start with Fields and then he mucks it up and they go to Russ, that's not going to be good for them. They have to start the veteran.
I like this one, Patrick Queen.
Just make
That's a
sense.
good linebacker right there.
I'm sorry, I was looking at something over here. Did you already talk about the Bengals in this division? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All I want to
There
say
wasn't
about
much-
the
there
Bengals
wasn't
is
much there.
they're in the same boat. They're in the same boat as well. The big thing with that team is Joe Mixon's not with them anymore. The Houston Texans have been mopping up everybody that's good. So, you know.
Speaking of the Texans.
Yes, speaking of the Texans, what I was going to say about the Bengals before we get too far removed from it, though, they're in the same boat as the Jets. As long as Joe Burrow's on 2 feet, they're deadly. So, you know, that's the way that team goes. As he goes, they're going to go. And trust me, the guy at the bottom, right below Knock, doesn't want to see that guy, right? It gives you guys headaches, man. Go ahead. Tell us about
Texans,
how the Texans are like just
loading
trying
up
to take it over. Yeah.
So they got Joe Mixon in a trade with the Bengals. They got Stephon Diggs from the Bills. Nico Collins got an extension. Also, they don't mention him on here, but Tank Dell, who was another one of their great breakout rookie receivers last year, he's back. And then they got Dalton Schultz, the tight end from Dallas, who's pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah, they're stacking this team, man.
They're loading it up.
They are stacking it to win right now. I mean, first of all, I don't think anybody saw Stroud coming out the way he did. I mean, and he, we'll see if he has a sophomore slump. I don't think he's going to, though. I really don't think he's going to. It's a not for long league. It's the NFL. It's not for long, but that guy seems to have the character and the work ethic to keep this rolling. You know what I mean? And plus, they've given him so many damn weapons now. Jesus Christ, man. This is ridiculous how they're stacking this team for him.
They even got our punter.
Yeah. Yeah, who's one of the best punters in the league. Jeez, man. What the hell, dude? It's crazy.
And he showed up pretty well. They don't show it on this list, but they got Cam Akers, too.
I mean, all the preseason talk has been about the Bears, a lot about what they're building there. But I'm sorry, I'm looking at this Texas team, and I
have no faith in Caleb.
Me either. I don't.
So
we'll get to it when we get to the Bears. Right.
Colts picked up Joe Flacco as a backup. Anthony Richardson, who's going to get concussed again. Michael Pittman is fantasy royalty right now.
Yes, of course.
We'll definitely try to draft him again.
Yeah,
but he got paid. Let's see. Pretty much just a bunch of re-signs. The Jaguars, they traded for Mac Jones to back up Trevor Lawrence, I guess.
I don't know.
Cool.
What is with the Jaguars, man? All of a sudden, they've become the Chicago Bears at the friggin' quarterback position.
I forget what he changed his name to, but Josh Allen changed his name to like Josh Allen something.
Yeah, something else, right? So he doesn't get confused with the quarterback. So,
but he got a big payday, 5-year, $150 million deal.
He's good too. That guy's really
he's really good. So.
Yeah,
we'll learn his new name soon.
Now you want to talk about a wild card? This team right here, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't.
Why did Calvin Ridley go here? Like, of all the places.
Yeah, what is... they've got Mason Rudolph, and I think they're starting...
They still got Will Levis.
Right, they're going to start Will Levis, I believe. I think they've gone all in with him.
I mean, they signed a 4-year big deal for center, and so I mean, I don't know.
I
Might be
mean,
something, but I just
is their
feel-
running back stable that great that they can?
Tony Pollard's not bad,
Yeah,
and they
But-
do have that little guy. The little guy.
he's not King Henry. That's all I got to say.
No, he's not.
No.
I don't know what this team's doing. I really don't. But you know what? Watch them come out and just be world beaters, right? We're all just. We find out that my man, what's his name, the linebacker, another linebacker from New England, the guy that they fired last year, the head coach, Vrabel.
Yeah.
We find out that he was the guy handcuffing this team, right? You know, and all of a sudden they're just world beaters. I don't think that's going to happen, but I just don't know what they're doing there. Now here's the toughest division. If you ask me, this is now the toughest division in football, and it's all because the champs are in there. But every one of these teams has gone out to get a better coach, and the only ones that aren't keeping up to me is the Raiders. But you know, hey, the Raiders do their own damn thing. But you look at what the Broncos are doing, and the Chargers. This is going to be a good division. Go ahead, Knock.
Yeah, we traded for Zach Wilson for some reason.
Hey man,
Well,
that could
we
work
drafted
out.
Bo
You
Nix.
never know. Yeah, you never know.
I don't think we did a whole lot. We did restructure for one of our wide receivers to free up a little bit of money.
Mhm.
But we did just a bunch of one-year deals.
Yeah. And then we've got the champs who loaded up with speedsters at the wide receiver position, something nobody wants to see. Jeez.
I guess Clyde Zeller just likes to win Super Bowls
Yeah.
because he clearly doesn't care about playing. Because he never
he
sees the field for
re-signed
whatever reason.
and he'll be a backup. Yeah.
Yeah,
He doesn't care.
yeah. They just don't care for him. They're like, no, we want that number 10.
And he'd be a starting running back on any other roster in the NFL,
right,
man.
Yeah.
He would. That guy's a
Hollywood
tank.
Brown. They did get Hollywood Brown, so that's nice. And then they got McCole Hardman back.
Yeah, he wanted to come back. But Louis Rees-Zammit, he's going to be something special.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him. What does he do? Oh, rugby
he's a
star?
former rugby player.
Oh, man.
So he's playing wide receiver, running back, and special teams.
Holy shit. He's one of
The
those.
all-around guy.
Oh, man. Great. Look out for the jet sweeps, baby. Look
Yeah,
out.
right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, whatever that number 10 guy was doing last year, that's what this guy's going to do all year.
Right. Jeez, man. Wow. I just know what's the rookie they drafted.
Here's the smartest one they got right here.
Yeah.
You know.
Chris Jones.
Well,
got paid.
yeah. You got to have that piece. That's what the defense is built.
Now,
around.
if only
You
their
gotta
wide
have it.
receivers could stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, keep them out of the police blotter, and we're all right. Yeah, no doubt.
Speaking of keeping out of trouble,
Why are we
the Raiders?
Yeah, why are we even talking about the Raiders, man? Jeez.
Well, they got their coach. What's his name?
They
Hugh
do,
Jackson.
you know, and I like
So,
I
they
like
really
Antonio
liked him.
Pierce. That's a good choice to give him the reins because he did so well. He did. They turned around, and started
I
winning.
think that team would have mutinied if they went and got
Right.
another white guy.
Yeah, right. Did you actually just say that, sir? But anyway, I'm really glad for Antonio Pierce. I liked him as a player. I didn't like the team he played for. He played for the Giants, but I liked him as a player. He was a good player, and to see what he did with that team when he got the reins of it this year, hey, you know, he deserved to get a shot. So,
I'm kind of curious how the Raiders would have done if they didn't have Josh McDaniels at all. Talk about
Right.
handcuffing.
Now I'm trying to remember who is their quarterback. It's not Garoppolo still, is it? No, he's moved on, right? We got
I
Minshew.
don't know.
Hang on, I'll
Minshew's signed a
look
big
for it.
deal, though.
I'll look for it real quick. Oakland, go ahead, keep going, and I'll look up the Raiders coach. Raiders.
Chargers.
quarterback.
They didn't do a whole lot here. Just got some fillers.
They didn't do a whole lot here. They
Yeah,
just
I guess-
got one of the hottest coaches in football over the last couple of decades. That's all.
I'm talking about just players. Gus Edwards not bad, but he's kind of injury prone. When the Ravens did allow him to run.
Let's see.
Dallas did the least amount of anybody.
Right.
Brought Ezekiel Elliott back.
Yeah. Probably because they lost Pollard.
Yeah.
The Giants got Drew Lock. Devin Singletary, that's not bad. They let Saquon Barkley go. That was really weird.
Well, sometimes a player just wants too much money and he can't afford it to keep it in the. That's why we got rid of. That's why we lost Snead. He just wanted too much.
I've forgotten that Kenny Pickett went to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got it here. Looks like we've got. Maybe you guys recognize these dudes. They don't have their names under here. This is from the Raiders website. Hang on. Their quarterback room looks like it is. Go ahead and share this real quick, and then we'll get back to what Knox is sharing. Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, and I don't know who the third guy is. Do you recognize this guy?
No, sure don't.
I don't either, but that's Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. They don't have a quarterback room, if you ask me. I mean,
No.
Gardner Minshew, he's okay, but I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Don't understand.
I don't think that Minshew magic's going to work for them.
No, I don't think it's going to work for him either.
Hang on, go down just a little bit below the picture.
Okay.
Carter Bradley? Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Carter Bradley? I don't know who that is. Anthony Brown Jr.? I don't know. It says new players, but yeah. Anyway, no, they don't have a quarterback position, boys and girls. Mm-hmm. If you're a Raiders fan, the season is not looking good for you. Sorry.
And they were too low in the draft to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
They were one of the teams that could have drafted a quarterback because so many of them went in the first 15.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, where are we at now? What team?
Kenny Pickett to the Eagles. Saquon Barkley to the Eagles.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown got an extension. Devontae Smith got an extension. Alberto, I like him. He was in Denver for a little bit.
Yeah.
Good blocker, decent receiver.
Mm-hmm. But their biggest acquisition, if you ask me, though, was Saquon Barkley. That's the biggest one.
Yeah, maybe someone that can get the clock, end the game.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
They got C.J. Uzomah.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That's a good one.
Yep. The Commanders, bro.
I like this. Austin Eckler. That's a good pickup for them.
I was fixing to say that they've quietly made some good moves. I like the rookie they drafted. Of course, he's from LSU. We see a lot of him down here. He's a double threat quarterback.
Zach Ertz, that's a good. He's older, but it's a good.
They're putting pieces around him. I'm pretty
Jameson
sure
Crowder, he was with them for a little while, and then they drafted him, I believe.
Right,
so he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't think they're. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this team is going to.
Dante Fowler
take the division or anything.
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner, there you go. He just won't go away. He just won't.
They got one of our good journeyman linemen.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah, they got Nick Alderete.
Oh, all I'm saying is, it looks like they're actually trying to change the culture there with the new ownership.
Now they would just change the name,
right? If they just change the name, and you know what? There's a growing groundswell to bring back the Redskins, man. There really is. I think
it's never. I'm not
I don't think it's going to happen either. But I'd love to see him bring back the logo and change it to the Warriors. Why they didn't make it the Washington Warriors to begin with, I don't know, man. I think they're just trying to get completely away from the Indian.
Well, isn't there DC basket? Isn't the DC basketball team the Warriors?
No, that's the Golden State. That's
yeah. They were the Washington Wizards. Right. I don't think they are anymore, though. I don't watch enough basketball to know.
I don't either.
Yep. Here's the team that everybody's talking about. As soon as somebody
Keenan
looks
Allen,
at
DeAndre
Caleb
Swift.
So as soon as somebody looks at Caleb Williams wrong,
Everett.
he's going to get his feelings hurt and he's going to
Yeah.
be throwing interceptions. So I
Yeah,
don't
he's
put
going to go
any
run
money.
into the stands where his mama is and crying her
Yeah,
arms.
I can't. I just can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Whatever.
Yeah. So talk about sophomore slump. Can the Lions be the darlings again?
Oh yeah. I don't think that was a slump. They've been getting pretty good up until they got Goff anyway. They'd been making strides, but they just couldn't close out games and stuff. And I believe it was the third year of Dan Campbell's regime when they got Goff and they went on this run. And it usually takes about 3 years for a coach to get his culture going and everything. Yeah, I think these guys are going to keep rolling. The only team I see that's going to challenge them in that division is the Packers, and that's that's up to Mr. Love and company there. So, and they've been beefing up the defense, and the Packers are worried about them dudes. They've been beefing up the defense up there too. I mean, I know they paid Love a bunch of money, but you look at a lot of their moves. A lot of them are on defense to try and stop this wide open Lions offense, no doubt.
Packers. Josh Jacobs, running back, the big bruiser.
Mm-hmm.
Not a crazy home out.
No, well, they started winning last year. They made the playoffs. Just add some pieces, right?
Vikings.
This team, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. This is another one. This is like the Raiders of the fucking NFC. I don't know what this team's doing. I really don't. Justin Jefferson is going to be acting like that Devontae Adams did last year with the Raiders. You know what I mean? He's going to be like, what the fuck am I doing here?
He's there for 4 years, too.
Oh, God. Man.
Yeah, they just re-signed him.
Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold.
Or extension.
Oy vey. But then again, we saw some better play out of Sam Darnold when he stepped in for San Francisco for a little bit there. So, you never know. It could have been a bad situation.
Oh, man, Kirk.
Yeah, this team.
Falcons.
This
is an interesting one.
You remember draft night? That was the biggest surprise for us, that they drafted a quarterback with their early pick. And
was it Penix?
Yeah, it was Penix. They took Penix, even though they had just thrown the bank at friggin' Kirk Cousins in free agency. Then they signed him. And I saw Arthur Blank in an interview not too long ago, and he said, look, we've seen too many times where these teams, somebody goes down and they don't have a quarterback. So we wanted to fix that situation, and we had it there. We'd have been stupid not to take this guy, And when you think about it, it's a smart move, They're going to be able to groom him behind Cousins, who is, much as I hate to say it, I'm not a fan of the guy, but he was having the year of his life last year before he got hurt. He was having a phenomenal year, and the guy's a good quarterback, and you can do a lot worse as a mentor for a young quarterback. So, and plus we've been talking about this team is just a quarterback away from being a challenger in the playoffs,
And I like these two right here. Darnell Mooney from the Bears, and then they got Rondale Moore, the speedster from the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's crazy.
They've
got a wide receiving core. They've got what's the running back's name from Texas? That's so good. God, Bijan Robinson, is that his name? Oh my God, that guy's awesome, man. So yeah,
now if they can figure out how to use that tight end too, that's a beast that they never.
Yeah,
so you don't want to throw the ball too.
And they've got a decent defense. They're obviously building the offensive side of the ball, but if they can get a middle of the road defense, shit, they could take the division this year with Kirk Cousins, man, for sure. That division's wide open with Brady gone. Tampa did well with my boy Baker last year, but I don't see the Saints taking it from them. I mean, much as I love my brother and he loves his football team, I'm tending to agree with him. They're not going to do anything until Allen's not the coach anymore. You
don't believe in Mayfield and the Bucks?
I'd love to see it, but with Kirk Cousins being in that division now, no, I don't. I don't see it happen. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. And there's another team. Yeah, another team in disarray because of their fucking owner. He's a retarded person. So, yeah, go ahead and tell us about this Panthers team.
We got the Davion Clowney. He's getting older.
Yeah, a little long in the tooth.
Johnson there. From a trade from the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Brown.
And a shell-shocked quarterback.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Put them in the cellar again. Yeah.
Come on.
Who are these people? Who are they?
They got the Honey Badger.
And David Carr. Yeah, well, he came home last year.
Yeah.
He's just re-signed. Yeah, he's been there. He just signed again, so. Yeah.
Then we got the Bucks. They paid Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. Which they should have.
They re-signed Mike Evans as well.
Yeah. Well, Mike Evans is going to die a Buccaneer, man.
Sterling Shepard. It's not a bad pickup for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Gregory, who very underperformed in Denver.
Yep.
Antoine Winfield. That's a good sign.
That's going to be, it's always fun to watch the games in the NFC South. They may not have the most killer teams, but boy, these guys hate each other. It very, very, very confrontational rivalries in this division. I know every time my brother can't stand the Falcons because every time they play them, they get in a fight. Every time the Saints and Falcons play, there's a fight on the field. At some point in the game, it's redonkulous. Yeah. So, all right. Is that everybody? No, we still got my division. Oh God.
Desmond Ridder to follow up the shrimp.
Yep.
Zay Jones, not bad.
Mm-hmm. And the Cardinals, there's no telling with this team. I mean, they played hard last year. Now, remember, they had several quarterbacks last year, remember? And they played hard for that coach, man. So there's no telling. If they put the right roster together, they could make some noise. I don't think they're a wild card team at best, maybe, but they'd have to play at the top of their game. And they'd have to start winning some of these close games they've been losing. Go ahead.
The Rams, they got Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's never going to see the field. Yeah.
They
got Matthew Stafford. That's who they got. Yeah. Look, is there a better wide receiver tandem in the NFL? Maybe on the Chiefs now. That remains to be seen. But we've already seen with these two guys, Kupp and what the hell is his name? Yeah. Puka Nacua. Yeah, that dude. Boy, if you keep Stafford upright, this team's going to make some noise, no doubt. And 49ers. There's that team. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're keeping McCaffrey. Smart.
Mm-hmm. The Madden cover guy. And I was in GameStop yesterday, and by the way, I picked up Mass Effect 2 and 3 so I could do playthroughs of those. They were very cheap.
Oh, nice.
But I asked him how the sales were going for Madden 25, and he said they're not doing well at all. He said we had like 200 pre-orders for the NCAA game. He said they've had like 20 for Madden 25. It's just like we thought. Everybody's all in with the NCAA game, and Madden's going to suffer because of it this year.
Yeah, I mean, especially right off the bat. Why? Yeah. Just wait till it's cheaper, and then because I kind of still do want to get the Madden, and it's only because I want to import my team over to Madden, but I don't need to do that right off the bat. Right. I can wait till Black Friday when it's like $30 or whatever.
Right.
Or just wait until next year when it's $20, and so it's like there's no reason to pay for it right now. There's none. Yep. There's zero. They never listened. They never listened to the fans. Yeah. And now they're finally got some competition with their own company. Yep. But they need to make changes, like legit changes to that game, and they refuse to do it. They have the same fucking Super Bowl celebration for 10 years.
Yes.
It's just they're lazy. They are lazy.
They have gotten
absolutely lazy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I've checked the price on the one with Josh Allen on the cover, the 24 game. It's already dropped. You can get it for like $30. And usually the freaking the game from last year doesn't drop until the new one comes out. But now that the NCAA game has come out, they've already started dropping last year's Madden price in store. So that should tell you something right there. I mean, everybody's playing that NCAA game. But go ahead. What team are we on here? We're on. We still on the Rams? No,
Yeah.
the Seahawks. Yeah,
Sam Howell.
I like him as a backup. I like him. Yeah, it's Gino's show until Gino decides to retire. I really don't know what's gonna. Yeah, Noah Fant. That they re-signed him. They should have. That kid's special. You guys should.
I was sad to see. I was sad to see him go.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. He
gave up way too
really
much.
Special. Yep, he's a really special player. But this team's only going to go as far as Gino takes him because I watched him play Dallas last year, and our defense has gone to shit. Our tradition used to be great defense, and now it's just bad. It is
the
bad.
Legion of Flume.
The Legion of Let It Go. I mean, I'm telling you, man, they're like the Saints. Drew Brees' Saints before they built a defense for them. I mean, we're losing games 38-35. It's horrible, so anyway, yeah, is that it for do you want to look at the quarterback thing yet, or are you still got something you want to talk about?
No, I'm all good here.
Okay.
You do what you got.
All right. Well, as I was referring to earlier, we had some quarterbacks get paid here recently. Right before the season, and before I get started with this,
right?
What's that? Go ahead.
So Dak still hasn't been paid, right?
That's what I was going to say. All these guys are making all kinds of money, and Dak Prescott still has not been paid. And what's funny about that is Jerry Jones better get something done quick, or he's going to be shopping for a quarterback in the offseason because he's already indicating that, people are assuming my life is in Dallas. They're already assuming, he may go somewhere else at the end of the season, and he has all the leverage, guys, all of it. He has got all the leverage. Freaking, they can't franchise him again, right? They can't do that. And the contract's up at the end of the year. So if they want to keep rolling with this, I guess the all-in part was see if Dak can do it one more time. I guess that was the all-in thing. Right? So some other teams, though, they shored up their quarterback positions. Highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, number one is Jordan Love. Now, how this guy got to be the number one after one season of football that was good. I mean, actually half a season, right, guys? It was like a half a season, wasn't it? Because he was still screwing it up at the beginning of last year, and then all of a sudden he went on a tear, and they made the playoffs, right? He has signed a 4-year, $220 million deal. $155 million is guaranteed. That means average salary is $55 million a year. 55. These friggin' quarterback. I mean, I thought that friggin' contract that Patrick Mahomes signed was huge, But, man, these guys are dwarfing that now. And it just shows you how much money the NFL's making. Number two is now Joe Burrow, $275 million over 5 years, $219 million guaranteed. What? Wow. $55 million average. And then we've got Trevor Lawrence. Now, this one really kind of troubles me right here. Because I don't know about you guys, but I question this guy's IQ on the field. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him just fumble the ball while running with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. We'll see. But he also did 5 years, $75 million, $200 million guaranteed, $55 million. That's the top three guys, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, and Trevor Lawrence are all making $55 million a year. That is insane, man. That is just nuts.
Yeah.
Then we got Tua. He's chiming in at $53.1 million. It's a 4-year, $212 million deal with $167 guaranteed. And that's a lot of money for somebody that's brittle. I'm sorry. That scares me. They better have a good backup in Miami. That's all I can say. And then Jared Goff. This is one that I think is a long time coming right here. I mean, you guys used to hear me. I swore up and down this guy was a goof. He didn't get it, and maybe Trevor Lawrence would be like this guy, because now he's gotten it and he's getting paid for it. 212 million, 170 million guaranteed, $53 million a year. That's the top 5 quarterbacks now, guys. That is insane. And all these deals were signed almost back to back over the last month or so, right before the season hit. So tell me what you think of these crazy ass friggin' quarterback deals. John, what do you think of this?
I think the money's getting too high personally.
Yeah. But
yeah, granted, quarterback's important, but you pay your quarterback that much, you're not going to have enough to pay the rest of the team.
Yeah. There's a reason why Brady used to take pay cuts so they could pay somebody else. Yeah, right.
That's why Mahomes does.
Brady also had a rich wife that he didn't
true.
need money.
He was married to a supermodel. Yeah. This is true.
He didn't need he had everything else going for him.
To his point, Patrick Mahomes. I keep wanting to say Priest Holmes because he used to be their friggin' running back, and it's the same last name.
Yeah.
But Patrick Mahomes, he's doing that too. So. Yeah,
he's gonna get paid. No, I disagree. When you get $500 million for a 10-year deal, he's gonna get an extension that gives him a lot more. So he's not doing a team-friendly deal. It was the biggest deal at the time, and now it's a couple years removed. So if anything, he's smart to let these guys just keep upping the price and be like, "Hey guys, extension time. 6 years left on my contract, but let's talk extension or rework." Mm-hmm. So it's not going to stay.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, man, this just tells you how much money the NFL is making. If they can afford those kind of salaries, that tells you how much they're making on TV money. And speaking of TV money, has anybody checked on that lawsuit, that class action lawsuit against the NFL?
Yeah, it got reversed.
Yeah, it did get reversed because they were... I mean, wow, man. I don't know if you looked at that or not, but, if you lived in Europe, you could get Game Pass for, I think it's $55 for the entire year. And so any game, not just the Sunday games, any game. It's only here in the States that they gouge people for damn near $500. It's only here in the States. That's just crazy to me. But I paid for it a couple of seasons, and this is around 2004, 2005. But I just, I can't do that, man. I'll watch the free games, and if you look into how they do that, they sell it as. I hope they have to bite the bullet on it, man. Or they need to change the format of it because they sell it like you get every game, and you don't. You don't get the ones on Prime. You don't get the ones on ESPN. You don't get the Sunday night game, right? And this is why a lot of people get it, so that when they're not home, they can watch the games, right? And if you look at the way they set it up, they drive it to where they get optimal advertising for themselves, right? They have the best matchups in the primetime games to make the advertiser make as much as they can off the advertising dollars. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I hope that they they're going to have to lower the price of that eventually. They've got to at some point because nobody's going to buy it. It's ridiculous, man. I know I haven't gotten it since 05 or 06, something like that. And I'd love to watch my Seahawks all the time, but you know what? I grew up not seeing them, so But the thing for me was always watching that ticker at the bottom of the screen. They'd give the friggin' scores, and we'd have a big lead, and then all of a sudden it'd start to get smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm sitting there waiting to see a highlight or something. I like the highlight shows though. I do. I used to live on Chris Berman and Tiny Tom. What was Tom's last name? Played for the Broncos. Tom Jackson, Tiny Tom Jackson's what you used to call him. Yeah, I used to love that show. But anyway, so that's all the off-season moves. What stuck out to you this off-season? Starting with Knock, what do you think of the moves? Who is making the most noise to you?
I'm going to go with the easy answer, and it's got to be the Texans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, just
yeah,
on an already playoff team.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just
the rich get richer.
They're getting
right?
their wide receivers are coming back. They get 2 of them were hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Nico Collins and Tank Dell, and so they're back. It's a scary team.
Yeah.
And then you have a defensive coach.
Yeah.
Everything's on the offensive
Ryan.
ball, and yet they have a defensive coach. Like, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is he really a defensive coach? I don't know.
Maybe he thinks the best defense is a good offense. Maybe that's what he thinks. Maybe that's it. John, what sticks out to you in this offseason in the NFL?
The rule changes.
Yeah, we haven't even touched on that yet, and I'm sure I'm pretty sure that Knock wanted to talk about a lot of that. Let's see. Let's think about what rule changes we're talking about. The most obvious one is the kickoff.
Yeah.
That is going to be interesting. I heard.
I actually like that one. But yeah.
I do. You know what? I'm not a big proponent of change, but I like that one too. I do. I understand they're thinking of player safety, but at the same time, the way they've tweaked it, if that ball, there's no more fair catching and shit. If you field it, you've got to take off with it, right?
Yeah.
And I heard Rich Eisen, the guys talking, said it's going to be interesting to see how these teams deal with it, because he said, imagine them putting Deebo Samuel back to return kicks for the friggin' San Francisco 49ers. If they give him some blocking, it could be him against the fucking kicker. I mean, come on, man. That could get ugly. This kick, this may bring back because the number of kick returns we were getting had started to diminish to damn near nothing. You know what I mean? And I think they're trying to get it, that part of the game to be a little bit more exciting now. I do like this rule change. I don't like rule changes too much, but this one I do like because there are a lot of injuries, guys running down there at top speed, colliding with each other. So, I do like this one. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it. What do you got down there, Knock?
It's the rules.
It's the rules. Well, let's see the rules. Explain it to us, Knock. Explain it to us.
This is from the NFL to explain the rules.
Mm-hmm.
To address the lowest kick return rate in NFL history to 2023. Okay, they went really fast on that one.
Yeah.
This new rule will keep excitement of kickoff returns in the game while returning the injury rate closer to that of traditional scrimmage play.
Yeah.
The kickoff team will kick off from the 35.
Just pause it if you need to read it, man. Yeah.
Trying to wait till it goes. So right here, this is where we're seeing the setup. So you can see they're actually on the other side of the field on the 40.
Right.
And then only 5 yards away from them is the other team.
Right.
And then you have the 2 returners in the back here.
Mm-hmm.
And here you can say between the receiving team's 20 yards and line and its goal line, and that's where it is where it's caught is where the play begins.
Yep.
Any kick that hits and stays inside the landing zone must be returned.
That's the thing. That's the thing right there.
Any kick that bounces from the landing zone into the end zone must be returned or down by the receiving team for a touchback and possession as its 20-yard line. Possession at its 20-yard line.
Which I never understood. Yeah, I never understood this thing of not making them down the ball. I didn't understand it at all. I'm glad that's back. Go ahead.
If the kick fails to reach the 20-yard line, the receiving team takes possession at its 40-yard line.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's always been the case, I believe. I mean, if they kick it out of bounds, that
If they kick it out of bounds, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If the ball enters the end zone in the air, the receiving team can return it or down it and take possession at the 30-yard line.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's different if it bounces into the end zone,
Right.
which only goes to the 20 if they down it. But if if it's caught in the end zone and they down it, it goes to the 35.
Yep.
If the ball
30.
goes out of bounds in the 40-yard line, so that's the same.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, they're trying to.
Now this one, this one was a little. I think a lot of people were kind of upset about this one. Onside kicks are only permitted in the fourth quarter, and you have to tell the refs when you're going to do it. So surprise kick returns are no longer surprise onside kicks are no longer allowed. Now, what I'm hoping that this is leading to, and this is a personal and this is not an original idea. I'm sure many other people have thought about it, but with some of the changes that they're taking from the XFL, one of the biggest ones that I want brought to the NFL is the end of the onside kick.
Right.
I want the 4th and 15 or 4th and 12 with a chance to retain the ball in the fourth quarter when you're trying to make a comeback. Mm-hmm. Screw onside kicks. They're dumb. They're stupid. They never work. I would rather see Patrick Mahomes on 4th and 12 passing it up the seam to Travis Kelce because that's all they ever have to do. But I'd much rather see that than see Butker, that everyone hates now all of a sudden, do a dumb side spin kick thing that will probably go out of bounds or whatever.
Everybody hates now all of a sudden.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I mean, I'm really hoping that this is what this is leading to. That they're going to go with that rule change with the next couple of years.
Well,
I'm really hoping we go to that.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Well, let's look at this real quick. Them changing the formation of how that play is run is what's dictating a lot of this because you have to tell them you're going to do an onside kick because then it's going to move to center field, back where it was.
Right? They're like, "What are you doing? You're lined up in the wrong spot." Oh, we're going for an onside kick.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. We're all the way down here, guys. Come on down here.
But that's why. That's also why, especially, that's also why I want them to do the 4th and 12 instead. So we just screw the onside kick. That's all I'm saying. Is we don't need it. We don't need an onside kick anymore.
Well, if they're changing the kickoff, the kickoff rules, getting rid of it makes more and more sense. I mean, we'll see how this goes this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to find they like it. I mean, I'm sure the players will be glad to not have to collide with each other at top speed. I'm sure they'll be glad about that. And they had to do something because they're talking about extending the season to an 18-game season, right? Yeah. And, it's either you cut down on the injuries or you give us more roster spots. That's what the players are preaching, right? If you're going to extend the season, we need more players, right? And this is a way to cut down on guys getting injured to where they can't, finish games. So, yeah, I hear you on the onside kick. I mean, it's the whole reason why they're only going to allow it in the fourth quarter is because of the way it's set up. I mean, they're on the other side of the field, right? So, I mean, yeah, there's no more of the Saints pulling a fast one on the Colts anymore, huh? That was a genius move when it happened, but I guess we're not going to see that anymore.
And they said the only surprise onside kick last year was the Broncos trying against the Raiders in the opening kick. That was the only attempt.
Yeah,
the surprise attempt, I should say.
Did it work?
So, no.
Okay, well,
it
see,
did not.
Yeah, I mean the chances they've changed for safety reasons. They have changed the onside kick rules, where you can't overload one side and all that stuff, to where it is pretty much a moot point anymore. Anyway, I mean, the one that we got on the Packers in the playoffs was just a goof by the Packers player. You know what I mean? They should have had that, but it was meant to be for us. But I think it was the same player that had caught a Hail Mary that year from Aaron Rodgers in the Lions game, blew it on that onside kick. He tried to catch it instead of friggin' or no, what was it? He was supposed to be blocking or something. I can't remember what it was, but he's the one that ended up blowing it. So anyway, yeah, I'm with you on that. They're gonna have to figure out something with that because the onside kick has pretty much been turned into a nothing play now. You can't do it. It just doesn't work. The other team would have to be totally asleep for it to happen.
Yeah, and I don't care like if they did like a 4th and 20, a 4th and 25, even if it's
make it some ungodly number.
Would still prefer that over
Right.
onside kick. Anything
Exactly.
better than that. I saw Ray Rice get a 4th and 26 before. So I mean, it's just a run. Like you don't know what can happen.
Oh,
you know,
there's a famous play the Eagles did. What was it? 4th and 23, and they got it in the playoffs against somebody. The Eagles did. So yeah, make it some ungodly number. I'd be happy with 4th and 20. This 4th and 12, 4th and 15. No, I want at least 20. At least 20. Okay. That way you got to choose between a screen pass and actually throwing it 20 yards. You know what I mean? Because this onside kick is going the way of the dodo.
I feel like if they did it, it would be 4th and 15 though.
Yeah, probably. But I say
think it's
4th and
fine.
20. I want it. I want you to have to pull off a play like what's his name against the Saints. The Saints guy
Stephon
completely
Diggs.
blowing it. Yeah, yeah. I want you to have to
Miracle
pull
in
something like
Minnesota
that
or
off.
whatever it was.
Yes. Yeah, whatever the fuck it was. So yeah, okay. What other rule changes we got this year, guys?
Well, this is the next
major?
video.
Okay.
I guess I'm not really understanding why it's a new rule.
Yeah.
I guess it's
okay.
an enhancement of the hip rule, the hip
Yeah.
tackle, which I thought they did that last year, so I'm not really sure.
No.
What's different?
This was the first thing they did in the offseason because remember the tight end for the Ravens went down in like the last game of the season or something like that, and they couldn't play.
I feel like that was the year before.
No. That's
Because
this year.
Andrews was out the year before. I thought, I don't know. Who knows?
No. I'm telling you, you've been watching too much college football. You're losing your grip on the NFL, sir. Okay, this hip thing. What it is basically is if you throw your legs out and let your weight pull the guy down, you're going to get in trouble for it. Now, I don't know. This is just going to be. This looks like all judgment call shit to me. What if the guy fucking trips over his own feet and his feet come out from under him? I mean, this looks like a judgment call to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I can see why they're doing it to reduce injuries, but still.
It's the same thing as the horse collar tackle. They're trying. It's the same.
Like back of you landing on the back of their leg.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're trying to stop. Pull them down. That's all it is.
Yep. That's it exactly. So that one's going to be like the horse collar tackle. It's going to be a little bit before they get the rough edges out of that one. You know what I'm saying? But what else we got? Anything else besides the hip drop tackles?
Yeah. Sorry. Let me. Boop. Let's see. To protect a club's ability to challenge a third rolling following one successful challenge. So you no longer have to get just two. You don't have to get 2 successful challenges. You only need to get 1 in order to have a third.
Okay. All right.
That's my understanding.
I don't know who whined about that, but sure, why not?
Yeah.
That's obvious. That's
be
somebody on the competition committee whining. That's what it is. Yeah, it's please. That's like that. That's like that fucking one that Josh Allen they changed because of the Bills and Josh Allen got in the playoffs and they scored on them and they lost the game and he's like 0-6 since they changed the fucking rule. It's stupid. Anyway, go ahead.
To allow for an enforcement of a major foul by the offense prior to a change of possession in a situation where there are fouls by both teams.
Okay.
So I guess
that's word salad I don't understand. Put it in layman's terms, bro.
Yeah, if I'm understanding it correct, I think that's like a personal foul versus like holding on, like a illegal contact or something on the defense or something like that. Well,
gotcha.
I'm trying to think of I guess if it was like 4th down, and then both sides got a penalty, it would be but the offensive side was more harsher.
I got you.
Then I think the offense would get the benefit of the down on
And
that
this is
one.
on change of possession? Okay.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
Include a ruling of a passer down by contact or out of bounds before throwing a pass as a reviewable play.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
The more reviews in it, the more I like it. But not necessarily them stopping the game and going to, having the ref go to the box to watch it. This should always be being looked at by New York anyway. So,
and that was a huge thing with the UFL. I think the NFL's been like watching how
I say New York, it's in LA now, guys. I'm sorry, their headquarters in LA.
But that was the majority of the rules were by the guys up in the booth, not by the refs on the field. The refs were only, they took into account what they saw, but they also, went upstairs and said, "Hey,
the final word was the eye
the
in
final
the sky.
word was from upstairs."
Yep.
Which I think is a lot, and it was in real time that they were talking.
Needs to be. Yeah.
So.
Look, a lot of people now. Look, I'm going to bring something up here, and it's just for the sake of where this discussion went just now. The eye in the sky needs to be doing it because you can see that the fans can see it. You can show it on the jumbotrons in the screen. In the stadium, so people can see it. There's a lot of people are with their working relationship with gambling entities. There's more and more people thinking, "Oh, the NFL is going to be rigged." So the more you can get rid of that by showing what's actually happening, I think that's very important. Because I think
that's a good lead into this next one, which is to allow a replay review when there is clear and obvious visual evidence of that the game clock expired before any snap.
Okay, yeah, that one's it. Now, how many times have you seen they give them a beat? How many times have you seen that?
Yeah, right. Because it's the old, the ref looks at the clock, and then by the time he looks back at, because that takes more than a second apparently. Right. And if the ball's hiked, then they give him the benefit of the doubt. So
so we'll see how that goes.
Anything that takes stuff out of the ref's hands, I'm fine with.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Eliminate a potentially dangerous tackling technique. I'm guessing that's the hip.
That's
drop.
That's hip drop. Yeah.
For 1 year only, to create a new form of a free kick play that is designed to. Okay, I think that's the other major one. Resemble a typical scrimmage play by aligning players on both sides closer together and restricted movement to reduce space and speed and promote more returns. So that's the big one that we'd already discussed.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
So the last two are just what we've already the big ones that we discussed.
Well, some of that I really like. Yes. The hip drop tackle, the only one that really concerns me because there's going to be somebody's going to get screwed on that.
I feel like
I guarantee
if they're going to make it so that if it's going to be up to the refs, then they need to make it reviewable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If if something like that's going to ruin a game, that's where they're going to get in trouble because it's like, okay, well that's not a hip drop. According to that particular ref, that's a hip drop. Okay, that doesn't make sense.
Right. And I tell you what, all the Saints fans right now are going, where was this rule about looking at things that are clear and obvious when we played the damn Rams? What the hell? What? When the ref standing right there was playing the Bird Box Challenge. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Where see, that's another thing that I think the UFL is been showcasing. A lot more reviews up in the booth, and they can actually overturn calls as they see it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that would have been overturned in the UFL.
Absolutely.
And it should have been. So and there's one other rule that I like in the NFL, or excuse me, the UFL that actually made some differences. You can, when they have what they call a super challenge. They have one super challenge per game, where. Say it's something you got to pick six, right? The other team got to pick six. Well, the team that threw the pick six could challenge that. Oh, this safety over here on this side of the field, and they have to be very specific on what they're calling out. He held our receiver, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even though if he wasn't even part of the play, if they find that there's enough evidence that safety was holding that receiver, boom, that would turn over the pick six.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they have to be very specific, but there was a couple calls that they did where they changed the course of the game because of that super challenge that they have for the entire game.
Yep. It
But
sounds
they
good.
called it out specifically what it was.
Mm-hmm. And what does that rule that you just read say? Clear and obvious. If it's obvious to everybody, yes, they should do that, man. That's a long time coming, if you ask me. They should have been doing that a long time ago. You know what I mean? Okay, so that covers college football. That covers the roster changes. That
Now
covers.
up to Canadian football. All right, let's do this. No, I'm
Nope,
kidding.
negative.
No,
Negative.
nope.
We got the rule changes.
I haven't been paying attention at all to Canadian football. I'm hyped for this
now,
college and NFL.
Now let's get into the Hall of Fame weekend. Now, I want to show you guys this. This is one of my favorite things that they do now when they tell these guys. One of the best ones I ever saw was when they told Jimmy Johnson he was going in the Hall of Fame, and Troy Aikman was covering a game that they were on, right? And they did it at I think it was halftime at the game that wasn't it halftime of the game that Troy Aikman was calling with Joe Buck
I think so.
on Fox, and Aikman was balling, and they put a camera on him. He was crying like a bitch with a skinned knee, but he should have been, because Jimmy got him those championships that he got and everything, and now they have Hall of Famers go to their house. Have you guys seen this? The Knox. It is awesome. I want to go ahead and show this to you guys. Let me make sure I share this with sound. I got to stop it and redo it. Hang on, guys. This is one of the coolest things ever, though, because this is, I mean, everybody wants a championship in the NFL. Everybody wants one, but every player in the NFL wants a gold jacket. They do, and this is one of the coolest things ever when they actually, when their time actually comes around and they get to do this. It's very freaking cool. Hang on one second. I've got to set this up. Pause it here. Make sure the sound's up. Get my video set up, and then go ahead and share it with the sound. And here we go. This is the Hall of Famers from the class of 2024 getting the heads up that they were going to be inducted. Check it out. That guy. stuff. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about Hall of Fame weekend. We get to hear about the guys that really built the sport, man. The guys that really Andre Johnson. He's one of the greatest wide receivers I've ever watched play football. I mean, the guy was a tank. He was one of the hardest dudes to break. It's like having a tight end playing wide receiver. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Guy was strong as hell. I'll never forget. What was that friggin' cornerback's name? That was, I mean, they had a huge rivalry with the Titans. It's a division rivalry, and I can't remember the dude's name. He was one of the guys that Jeff Fisher loved on that team. He was one of the cornerbacks, and he was just getting really just way too physical with friggin' Andre Johnson.
Was that Cortland?
Yeah, Cortland Finnegan. That's him. Yeah, absolutely. And I remember watching the NFL films thing on it. He went to the referee and told him, he said, "Look, man, you going to do something about this, or do I have to?" And a couple of plays later, Finnegan went off again on him, and he just fucking decked that dude and took him down to the ground, was beating the shit out of him. It was awesome. I loved it, man. But, Andre Johnson languished on some really bad teams, dude. And when Schaub came in, they showed some life, and they had some chances. They had some playoff chances and stuff, but they were never going to sniff the Super Bowl when he was there, and it's just a shame that guys like him don't get the ring. You know what I'm saying? He stayed in Houston his entire career. It's kind of like Cortez Kennedy with the Seahawks. Played his entire career with the Seahawks, only played in one playoff game. It was ridiculous, man. And to see those guys get recognized, it's really great because
or like Tony Gonzalez. Oh man, that guy got wasted in Kansas City.
Oh yeah, didn't he? Yeah.
Hey.
I'm just saying, not all of them get rings. I mean, Dan Marino, when he went in, he didn't have a ring, but he was a first ballot Hall of Famer, just like Andre. Knew these guys were the best at what they did. They just didn't have the team around them to get them there. So. Yeah, I love watching that stuff, man. It's fantastic. I don't know if you guys saw any of the induction stuff, but I really enjoyed Devin Hester's. He was saying, I hope this opens the door for a lot more guys that are just special teamers. And he mentioned Josh Cribbs and a couple other guys, that were really good return guys that he wanted to see join him in the Hall of Fame. I thought that was really cool. The game itself, like we said, Chicago won it 21-17 on a weather stoppage. It started raining really bad, and I think they had lightning in the area, and they decided to call the game. It was, it's a preseason game. What the hell? You don't need to get these guys in danger over a damn preseason game.
The Hall of Fame induction that really got me was Mongos.
Which one?
Mongos, Stephen Michaels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, what is he suffering from? What is it?
I think it's ALS.
ALS, yeah. It's the same thing that kid from New Orleans, the guy that blocked the punt against Atlanta's got, right? Yeah. It's bad stuff. But yeah, I love Hall of Fame weekend. I didn't get to watch it the way I like to usually because we actually I had to change my shows to the day of the game and everything. And I went and saw Deadpool yesterday, right about the time the inductions were going on. So, and you went yesterday too, didn't you not?
I did.
I may go see it again next weekend, man. Dude, that movie's just too funny.
I did want to show one thing real quick.
Yeah,
absolutely. We're going to go Tuesday.
What's that? You're going again Tuesday?
Yeah.
That's cheap day around here. Is it cheap day there too?
Yeah.
Well, we pay for the A-list, so it doesn't matter when we go.
Okay.
Patrick Willis.
Uh-huh.
And this is the play I'll always remember.
Oh my God. Smith, my goodness. I'm not sure about this one. Somehow he gets...
Yeah.
Well, see...
Anytime I think of him, that's...
That guy got high low.
Destroyed.
Okay.
That would have been...
It wasn't just Willis. The guy on his back that had a lot to do with it too.
That actually would have been a...
That's just the one I remember.
Yes. The guy was a beast. And he brought it every game. And much like Ray Lewis, one of his contemporaries, he never had a dirty hit on anybody. He always used his shoulder. He always had form tackling, and if you form tackle, you're gonna knock a ball loose or put somebody. They're gonna think twice about going across the middle on you, because if you put those numbers right here on somebody's numbers in the middle at high speed, yeah, that ball's coming out. And I mean, you're I'm not gonna say you're not gonna hurt somebody, but it's a contact sport. It's a violent sport. That's just all there is to it. But that's the safest way to do it. I've never seen him or I always used to tell people, if you want to see how to tackle, you watch Ray Lewis and Patrick Willis do it, because they are just beasts, man. It's ridiculous.
I put Luke Kuechly up there, and I think Luke Kuechly just got eligible.
I was fixing to say he's going to be a first ballot Hall.
Marshawn Lynch, I think, is on that list. There was a couple of them.
Yeah,
I don't know if Marshawn Lynch. I don't think will be first ballot. To be honest,
I don't think he will be either. His early career, he didn't really flourish, man.
Yeah, with the Bills, it wasn't that great.
He didn't flourish until he got to Seattle. Somebody that was all in with him. You know what I mean? And put the line in front of him and all that stuff. They pretty much wrote him off in Buffalo.
Yeah.
If you remember, they got him for a song. I mean, he went free agency.
Well, it's funny. I remember when he was I think he was at Oregon, right? and Boise State beat Oregon that year. Mm-hmm. And after the game, one of the Broncos went up to him, was like, smacked him on the shoulder, kind of. He was, high on emotion and stuff like that. Yeah. And after the game, and Marshall just turned around and punched the shit out of him. Like, this is when the helmets were off, so it wasn't. He didn't punch his helmet.
He hails from a tough place, man. He's from Oakland, California, so I mean,
I was watching that game, so I can. Yeah, I'll always remember that. So.
Oh man, the guy that's playing now, that I cape all the time for Baker Mayfield, and the thing I always remember from college football here lately is that one game. Where did he? It's not the plant the flag game. It was against Kansas, wasn't it, John? Whenever the guy wouldn't shake his hand at midfield on the coin toss, I think it was against Kansas, and he just, you muted yourself, buddy. I'm pretty sure it was either Kansas or Kansas State. It was one of those two teams. It was a Kansas team, and they wouldn't shake his hand, right? And he said, "Oh, really? It's like that, huh?" And he kept throwing touchdown after touchdown. And when
I feel like that was Kansas.
It could be Kansas. And he was talking so much shit on the sidelines, grabbing his nuts at him and stuff. I mean, he was talking all kinds of shit to their players. And the announcer was like, damn, somebody needs to get a hold of Baker Mayfield. He's making an ass of himself on national television. But that just shows you the kind of fight he had in him, man. I do dig Baker. He's a gamer, man. But anyway.
He finally got paid for it, too.
Yes, he did. He didn't get paid like those top guys, but he made enough. Let's see. He grabbed the guy's nuts. No, he grabbed his own nuts, like going, "Hey, get some of this, motherfucker." Yeah, he whipped their ass that day. It was pretty damn awesome. It's kind of like dancing on the eye in Death Valley. You don't do that. You don't go into somebody else's house and act ignorant, man. It's not smart to do.
you don't dance on the Arrowhead at Arrowhead.
No, right?
Mahomes.
We'll tell that to the little brother of Mahomes.
Yeah, right. We don't want to bring up Patrick's family, please. Just leave them out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't want to bring them up.
Yeah,
sure.
just keep them over to the side. Freaking. It's kind of like Terrell Owens when he did the thing where he planted the ball on the star, right, against the Cowboys, and Emmitt Smith come up and lit his ass up, right? Yeah, there's certain things you just don't do. But anyway, okay, so what else do we need to discuss before we're done with this opening salvo of the
I did have another
season?
Another article here, okay. If you were interested in talking about it. Now, this is obviously this guy's opinion, but these are his top 10 games to watch this season.
Okay, let's see it. We got a top 10 list. I like it.
Yeah, one of these ones is the Baltimore Ravens and Steelers game in Week 11.
Okay.
this is obviously going to be Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, whoever I don't know if I much agree with this one.
I don't either.
As one of the bigger ones.
Well, here's
see
my
when
problem.
week 11.
Neither one of these teams are going anywhere. So, look, Baltimore, yeah, regular season killers. They should win this game. But when they get to the playoffs, they shit the bed every time. So I
7 points. Yeah.
I am Missouri now. You have to show me, guys. You have to show me. Sorry. You have to show me.
Chiefs and 49ers in week 7.
Yeah, that's a rematch. So.
That's a rematch. So that's a big one.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game.
And we got to go. We're going into Santa Clara, so it's going to be a tough fight. But
that's not even a primetime game either. That's
at 4:20. Well, wait a minute. Is that week 2?
No, week 7.
That's too early in the season. Oh, week 7.
Okay,
week 7.
Okay.
When do they start flexing games? At week 11? Somewhere
something
in
like
there?
that.
Something like that. Yeah, 10 or 11.
Playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Green Bay and Chicago. I'm guessing this is because of you know who. But it's a divisional game between Love and Caleb Williams.
The oldest rivalry in the NFL.
And all that good stuff. So I'm guessing that's why it's on.
This is week 11. Well, by then I'm sure Mr. Williams will have shown his true colors. They'll be shopping for another quarterback.
He'll have been benched.
Yeah,
he'll have been benched.
No doubt.
The Bears, since 1992, the Bears are 15-50 against the Packers. So I'm sure that's why it's on the list.
Aaron Rodgers used to sit there and say, "I still own you. I still own you."
Now this is interesting. 49ers at the Dolphins, week 16, right before the playoffs. So this is going to be they're either flying high into the playoffs or they're stumbling into the playoffs.
That game might get flexed if both of those teams are doing well.
Yeah.
Both of those teams are doing well. It might get flexed because let me tell you, we're talking smash mouth football versus high speed finesse football.
The highest of speeds.
Yes. Oh my God. That should be interesting. A lot of question marks there. We're talking week 16. Tua could be in the hospital at that point.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the Dolphins bring back Ryan Fitzpatrick and
Fitzmagic. Too much magic.
Too much magic. Yeah.
Too much magic.
Baltimore at Chargers in week 12.
I don't care about any game.
This is a prime time.
Yeah, prime time. Great. I hope Harbaugh beats the crap out of that team. I really do. I'm sorry.
This is on there because it's brother versus brother.
It's Harbaugh.
Yeah, the Harbaugh Bowl.
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
They're going to play hard for each other. Yeah, no doubt. But if I was John, that's the team I'd start worrying about right there because Harbaugh, we know the tough-nosed football they're going to bring. And he actually has a quarterback this time. It's not some, guy that can't hit the broadside of a barn in Kaepernick. He's got that kid I've been caping for out there in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Boy, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how. And I got a feeling in that Chargers offense that's going to be implemented, we're going to see a lot less throwing out of Justin Herbert anyway. And it's going to open up. Dude, don't let that field open up for that kid because he's got an arm. Holy shit. And he's accurate, too. Go ahead. I hope Harbaugh beats the shit out of him. I can't stand fucking Baltimore.
Which Harbaugh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm talking.
The Chargers. I hope that one Harbaugh brother
wins.
Harbaugh
beats that other Harbaugh, damn it. Go ahead.
Bills and Texans. I feel like this is like week 5. I feel like this is like a passing of the torch kind of game.
It's exactly what it's going to be.
And you got Stephon Diggs going against the Bills. You got the up and coming versus the downward. They're going in opposite direction kind of things.
Yeah.
So this is probably a big game for the Bills, I think.
Well, if Rich Eisen,
and then there's a chance they might play each other in the playoffs.
Has been doing a lot of this. What will their record be after 5 weeks thing, right? And I looked at the Bills, and I'm like, the Bills are going 1-4 in their first 5 games, dude. It just looks horrible for them. And what do they got besides Josh Allen? He can't run the football every down. He'll be on the bench, knocked out by then. I mean, it's so stupid what they're doing in Buffalo. I hope Houston just nukes that team. You guys know I don't like the Bills anyway, so that's a New England thing. I don't like the Bills at all. But
I only liked the Bills for a minute, and that was only because they had what's his face?
Marv Levy?
No, Flutie, Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie? Yeah. Well, Doug Flutie was the Ryan Fitzpatrick of his time. He played for every fucking team in the NFL, so I can understand that. And he was a very lovable dude. He really was. But
you'd have to be able to do the what is it, the bunt kick?
Drop kick. He drop kicked it.
Kick.
He did it. Yeah, and I thought that was one of the coolest things in the world. That's one of the reasons why I love Belichick, man. He knows the lore of the league and the obscure rules and everything, and he let him do a drop kick because Flutie wanted.
He doesn't like it when they get used against him.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. Yep. But when it comes to the Bills, we'll wait and see. Maybe they're fucking geniuses and I don't know it, but they lost so much of their roster last year.
Yeah, maybe they got a gem at wide receiver we don't know about. Who knows?
Mean,
you never know.
One player doesn't do it, man. He doesn't. Just ask John Elway, okay? Until he got a team around him, he took that team kicking and screaming to 3 Super Bowls, despite themselves with a decent defense, and got crushed every time he showed up. Not just losing, getting blown out every time he showed up. So until TD showed up, he didn't get anything. But yeah, the Texans, what can you say, man? Now, guys, I hate to throw this little cog in the machine, but there was a team called the Philadelphia Eagles that they were calling the Dream Team that they put together with Michael Vick.
No, Vince Young called them the Dream Team.
About a decade ago, with all these free agents and blah, 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 and they played like shit. So, I don't think that's going to happen to Houston. They've got some really good things going on down there. So I think everything they've had in the offseason, I think they're going to nuke the Bills. But
I feel like that Eagles coach back then turned it around. I think he did just fine.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think
he did. He did.
Because normally I would say that's a coaching issue.
No, it wasn't a coaching issue. No.
Well, if you have those pieces and you can't make them work, I feel like that's a coaching issue.
Yeah.
Well, chemistry is just as important as talent.
It is.
It's the coach's job to make that chemistry work. That's your job.
Well, chemistry takes a few years sometimes.
Yeah.
So, Anyway, go ahead. What's the next one?
Cowboys and Commanders in
Yes!
Week 12.
Yes!
It's a 1 p.m. game, Eastern.
Yes!
So it's an afternoon game.
Well, this
is in Maryland, too.
This brings a smile to my face every time I see this matchup because some of now you guys know I live in a Saints-Cowboys market. These are the games I always see. And there is nothing better than watching the Washington football team, whatever they call it, the Commanders right now, go up against Dallas. It's one of the year that Aikman started in the league, before he won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, that first season, when it was just him and Michael Irvin, before they got Emmitt Smith, he went 1-15. That season shortened his career too. He got a bunch of concussions that season. He got the shit beat out of him. But you know what? The one game he won, it was against the Washington Redskins. So yeah, this is one of those throw out the records games. I am down with watching this one, no doubt about it. Go ahead, comment on it yourselves.
It's obviously going to be a big game for us. It's just Week 12. It's
yep.
I don't know how the Commanders are going to do.
Fight, so.
Yeah, I obviously I live in the area, so I'm going to hear a lot about it when it comes about. It's always a big deal when Dallas comes to town.
It is. This is a huge rivalry, man. If you're going to stack the rivalries in the NFL, this is top 5. It is absolutely top 5. The Cowboys and the Redskins, over time, if you look at the history of the rivalry, oh my God, yeah. And
just like any rivalry, when it comes around this time, you'll start seeing like the jerseys hanging out the back of the trunk.
Oh yeah,
stuff like for the rivals and stuff like that.
Yep.
So a lot of shit talking.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bragging rights more than anything
Yes,
else.
sir. Yes, sir. A lot of money changing hands in that game.
Falcons at Vikings.
My God.
Week 14.
Kirk Cousins
wonder why.
returns to the scene of the crime. No way. Oh, my God. In week 14, and it's a 1 p.m. start. Well, I don't think this is getting flexed because I don't think much of that team on the right there.
So J.J. McCarthy from Michigan is the rookie quarterback for the Vikings. He was in a predominantly run offense, but
Yeah.
that's what the Vikings are going to have to do. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But look,
the most important thing. What is the most important thing in a Kirk Cousins game?
the most important thing that it not be in prime time. Yes,
Would it not be in prime time?
That's
it is
right.
not in prime time. Chalk it off as a win. We're good to go. Next.
Better hope the Vikings don't have a good season and they flex it.
Yeah,
Better
right.
hope, Atlanta fans.
I don't know. Do they flex 1 p.m. games as often as 4 p.m. games? I feel like
no, I don't think
I
that
could be wrong. I don't even know if
it's
that's
completely. It has everything to do with playoff positioning, man. If both teams are, if the Minnesota Vikings have double-digit wins at this point in the season, which I doubt completely, or if they're at the high end, like 8 or 9 wins, and the Falcons are doing well too, they could definitely flex it in there.
because this is
going to have
week
playoff.
14.
It's going to have playoff.
Yeah, absolutely. This is week 14. This is absolutely a wild card.
Yeah,
matchup,
so that could get
potentially.
flexed easily if both teams are doing well. Yeah, absolutely.
The Falcons are trying to get the division, and the Vikings are just trying to make it in.
Trying to get a wild
absolutely.
card. They're right behind the Lions by a game, right? Yeah, I could definitely see this getting flexed. Yep. Which
Speaking
means
of the
bad
Lions,
things for Atlanta, so you better pray against
man.
it.
So we have the Lions, which are about let's see,
Ooh.
2 years. I would say what? What do you say, Joe? Like 2 years ahead of the curve that Texans are at right now.
Take the over, folks. Holy shit.
Like the Texans are what the Lions were a couple years ago, kind of thing. Like,
this is fireworks right here.
Oh.
Oh my God.
This
Yikes.
is week 10. This is a primetime game in Houston on NBC. So Sunday Night Football.
Just look at all the highlighted names in that
Yeah.
summary. I mean, good God, man. Yeah, weapons all over the field.
Oh, Hayden
both
Hutchinson.
offenses.
Oh man.
I wouldn't want to be a defensive player in this game.
Will
You better
Anderson.
eat your Wheaties. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be rough. Woo! God, yeah. That's the best one I've seen on this list. It really is. That is the best one. That's gonna be fireworks right there. And it's a prime time game.
The best thing for these two teams, it doesn't matter to them as much because it's a non-conference outside of just the win.
Yeah, they could take this loss and really, depending on who's nipping at their heels, they could take this loss because it doesn't hurt their conference record, right? So, yeah.
So it's just going to be a good game.
Wow. Yeah. Dare I say maybe a Super Bowl preview? Could be.
Right.
Could be.
And then, of course, we got the last one on this list is the Eagles and Bengals. I don't know how this ranking works. I don't think this is like the best or the worst or whatever. But Eagles and Bengals, week 8 at 4:25 Eastern.
Okay.
Two Super Bowl loser teams. Going at it, trying to recapture their former glory.
Yeah.
Eagles fell off hugely at the end of last year.
What
Bengals
the hell
didn't have a
happened to
chance,
that?
So.
Did they? Here's the thing: did they figure them out last year, guys, or was it an issue with their play? I mean, I don't know.
And now they don't have Jason Kelsey and his 1 yard ahead stance, and what are they going to do?
Yeah, it's I don't know, but
I don't know if the tush push is going to be as
a lot of
effective
question
now.
marks in this one. Can the Eagles rebound from that god awful second half of the season last year? And the other one, we're midway point in the season. Will Joe Burrow be on 2 legs at that point? I mean,
But if both quarterbacks are healthy, this could be a very entertaining game.
Yes, it could. Yes, if
this could be a shootout for sure.
It could be a shootout. Not like the last one we talked about, but it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think my favorite on this list so far. And we haven't even looked at all the games. This guy's there was no Chiefs games on here. But they're going to be playing some marquee games. They have to.
There was one.
Was there?
Yeah, there was. The Niners.
49ers.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine there should be others. But I think so far on this list at least, between the Chiefs and 49ers and this one, I think I like the Detroit Lions and Texans one the best.
Yep.
For sure.
That's some great matchups, man. And
So I
that
think we'll
one
have
like
to, before the season starts, we obviously have to do our picks before
Of
the
course.
season starts.
Like last year, we're gonna let the preseason
Yeah.
play out. We got to see which players are still standing.
But
that
I think we
thing.
should also take a look at the schedule ourselves and see what maybe our top 5 games are.
Yeah, we can do that, but we've got a few weeks. We're not.
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
do
no, I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Now, for those of you watching or watching on replay, whichever, our next show is going to be the Sunday of opening weekend. So, actually, do we do a show that Thursday on kickoff? I don't remember. I have to check the playlist. But I think we just do it. Go ahead and do the one that's Sunday.
Well, we definitely want to do it the one before the kickoff because we got to make our.
okay,
We got to make our.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We
have to make our
prep
picks.
for the season right there and do our picks. It's our preview show. That's right.
Right.
That's right. I was looking at the playlist the other day. So our next show will be the Sunday before. All the shows from now on will be at 10 a.m. just like this, 2 hours before kickoff, and it's going to be the Sunday before the Thursday night opener. That's when we'll have our next show. We'll preview the whole season. We'll go through. We'll take a quick look at the preseason, and they'll have finalized rosters by then. We'll know who's standing, who's sitting, all that good stuff. You know, the season hasn't started yet. Dak could be sitting by then. You know, if he isn't getting paid, I mean, that's a thing. You know, did Lamb get paid yet, guys? Because he could be sitting too. You know,
I don't think he did.
Yeah. So
I didn't see any announcement of him about him getting an extension.
Yeah.
So the first game, which is the Ravens at the Chiefs, Thursday night.
Mhm.
So that Sunday is the 1st of September.
Yep. So
the 1st of September is Sunday before the first Thursday night game.
Okay. Wow.
And then there's a Friday night game
It's starting a week earlier this time then. Apparently, because usually it's like the second week of September when it starts.
Yeah, check this out. Well,
hang on, I'm coming in.
Here we go.
Yep.
We actually got a Friday night game, of course, the first Peacock game, which is the Green Bay at Philly.
There's another game you won't get on the fucking NFL ticket, folks. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, like I said, I went ahead and did that $20 for the year Peacock deal, so I'm set on that one.
Right.
Yep.
Let's see if anything else good here.
Well,
oh, look at that, Denver and Seattle, week 1. Look at that.
We open the season against you?
we go to Seattle. Wow.
Right. Oh,
That's
at least
gonna be
you're coming to
great.
us. That'll work.
And then Monday
Oh
night.
my God,
Jets and
no!
49ers.
They're not putting the Jets up.
We get to see Aaron Rodgers live.
Wait a minute.
Monday night.
Wait. It was Buffalo last year, right? Wasn't it Buffalo they played?
Yeah, and the Jets
won
ended
that
up
game.
winning. They did.
won
They
the
did
game.
that win. Look at that. Rams and Detroit Sunday night. Oh, man. It's not bad primetime.
Matthew
games.
Stafford returning to the scene of the crime. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a fun season, man. But that right there, I can't believe they're putting him on Monday Night Football again. That's you know, he had to look at that. Go,
Aaron Rodgers, how do
really?
you feel about returning on
Thanks
the
a lot,
primetime
guys.
game? There's not going to be a lot of eyes on this.
Do you think he'll get more than one play?
Well, he got 3 last time.
Yeah,
he
he got
got
3.
He got 3. It was third down whenever he got.
Will he make it through the?
Will he get a first down before he goes down? That's the question.
Man.
I'm gonna go with the over there. I think he's gonna get a first down. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Look, you know I'm a
funny.
Patriots fan, and we're not gonna do well because we're gonna be sitting behind these guys and the Miami Dolphins. Look, with Aaron Rodgers, if he stays healthy, they could win the division. They could beat Miami, you know. But he's got to be healthy. That's got to happen. It's got to happen. They made their deal with the devil, and they got to go all in with it, man. They got to protect this guy and keep him on 2 feet, because if they don't, they're screwed. I mean, that team's got a good defense, but defense wins championships. But you got to get to that championship, and to do that, you got to score points, and you're not going to do it without Aaron Rodgers, no doubt. Oh man, what else are you looking at this season? I know me. I don't wish for anybody to do badly. I really don't. But you know I'm an Oklahoma Sooners fan, and you know that dickhead Lincoln Riley took this kid from us and went to USC. It could be a blessing in disguise because we saw what happened last year when he was faced with some adversity. We saw his true colors a little bit there, and I'm not sure about this guy. But there is a lot of hype coming out of Chicago. There's a lot of hype coming out of Chicago.
Yeah,
and I don't know. With Chicago's history, I think they may be like the Browns, man. It may be damn near impossible to overcome.
He's going to be the Ryan Leaf 2.0. Or Johnny
We'll
Football.
see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not wishing anything bad on him, but that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm expecting.
I Toad, I'm looking forward to.
What's that? Number 3 in a row. Can it be done?
3-peat.
Can it be done?
Will never happen.
It's going to happen.
It has happened before. The only thing is,
happen.
the only thing is, it was 3 NFL championships in a row, not Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers won the NFL championship the year before the first Super Bowl, and then they won the first 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it
has
count.
happened.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
Right. Well, I'm just saying NFL championships. Now, Super Bowls, it's never happened. It has never happened. But if any team can do it, it's that team right there. That look, what amazes me about the Chiefs, and it last year was that just showed how great Andy Reid is at coaching. He took a high-powered team and played defense and ran the football and played possession football in the playoffs. And
but to be
teams
fair,
weren't ready for it.
because their wide receivers couldn't catch a ball, but
Right. Yeah, he was forced to, for sure. But when you watched them in the regular season, they were throwing the football. They weren't running that much. And when they got to the playoffs, they ran more than I've ever seen them run, and that defense stepped up and it held teams down. I mean, it was pretty amazing to watch. They played every game on the road, and you've got to win that. That's how you got to win on the road. And they did it. They pulled it off.
Patrick Mahomes never won on the road. He can't do it. What's he do? He runs the table.
Yep. So I think we all agree the best coach in the NFL right now is Andy Reid. I mean, he's the mastermind. And
what about Chad Masters?
No, they fired him, man. They got Gerard Mayo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He wasn't there last year.
They got Gerard Mayo now. So, it's going to be interesting to see if Gerard Mayo is a coach on the Madden game this year. But that's going to be interesting to see.
In case anyone missed that, we're referring to old Bill, who doesn't let his name be used. So he's usually Chad Masters in Madden.
Bill Belichick. And before him, it was Bill Parcells.
Sean Payton doesn't do it either.
Really? That's right. Everybody from the Bill Parcells tree does not let them use their faces and image and likeness on Madden. Because I'm pretty sure Sean Payton came out of the Bill Parcells tree too. Didn't he work with him with the Giants staff, and then move on to? I know he went to Dallas for a little bit. I can't remember exactly but I'm pretty sure he started under Parcells. Pretty sure he did.
Yeah,
but anyway,
Parcells.
Yeah, he's a Parcells disciple. But yeah, none of them let their image and likeness go on the Madden game. Chad Masters. Yes, it's gonna be interesting to see if Gerard Mayo's name's on there. That'll be funny. Somebody is lighting my phone up. I don't know who. It's work. They're lighting my phone. I will check them out in a minute. But anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here for this Sunday, guys?
I think
we covered all our bases.
I can't wait, man. I'm ready.
Oh, I'm fired up too. I'm fixing to play some NCAA here in a minute after I do my social media.
Yeah.
I've been busy this weekend, Knock. I know it's advanced. Yeah. John, when you're ready to go, wait
on you, John.
Yeah. We'll start the one with all 3 of us, and we'll actually stream some of those games if you want to do it. So
yeah, I'll get it moved in here.
Okay. Well, just you know the text thread where we're all in it. Just send us messages in there.
Okay.
Okay, boys and girls, I want to thank you guys for being here. let's let John. You got anything you want to push that I'm not already going to push?
No.
Okay, cool. Let's see. God, man, let me put this phone on silent. Good Lord, my work compatriots are lighting up our work thread there. Of course, you guys know that you are watching Pregame Party. We gave you the breakdown of everything off season and the Hall of Fame recap. A lot of fun hanging out with my boys, talking some football. Looking forward to the season. Can't wait. You guys look forward to the next show here on. I pulled up the calendar. Let me go ahead and tell you that it's going to be on August.
Oh, that's right.
25th. August 25th is when we're going to do the next show.
No. September 1st.
Oh, is it September 1st? So
the first game of the season. The first game is September 5th.
Okay, gotcha. So September 1st, we're going to be doing our next Sunday pregame party, and that'll be a season preview after the preseason's over with. So look forward to that coming up at 10 a.m. Central Time on the 1st of September. And then, of course, the next time you're going to see me is this evening on the Brothers Hack the Matrix at 5 p.m. Central Time, where we bring you everything that is the clown show of 2024 through today's headlines. The Brothers Hack the Matrix every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, we start off our Monday with Military Monday. I don't have a thumbnail for it, but they are doing the Dog Soldiers. It's kind of it's a military movie with werewolves thrown in the mix. So
I thought they were doing Starship Troopers because
no, Starship Troopers is in another week.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's on the 12th. And yeah, according to what he sent me yesterday, they're doing Starship Troopers on the 12th. Tomorrow is going to be Dog Soldiers. And that show that he's speaking of, by the way, is going to have Dale Dye on it. If you guys don't know who that is, he's been a military advisor. He's a military veteran, and you've seen him in so many war movies, it's not even funny. And he's best known as being a military advisor on a lot of these movies. And he's going to be breaking down Starship Troopers with us on the 12th. So look forward to that too. That show comes your way at 10 a.m. Central Time every Monday morning. And then, of course, It's Only Talk and Roll comes your way at 4 p.m. Central Time on Mondays. And we're going to be doing a potluck Monday. Brian likes to do this every once in a while where he gets all his regulars together and we just talk about whatever the hell we feel like. It's probably going to turn to Deadpool at some point, I'm sure. But because it's the hottest thing in our sphere right now. But this show comes your way every Monday at 4 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, it's back to Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails. I'll be playing Madden through the years this Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time. I know I'm going to play a game on Madden 15. I'm going to try and get my PS2 fired up so I can play some of the older Maddens for you. I always like to play different Madden games on this show, so check it out this Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time. And then Wednesday, Martin and I are going to try and play A Way Out one more time. If it doesn't work out, then I will be continuing my playthrough of Brutal Legend. I forgot how much I enjoyed this game. I played it last Wednesday when the problem is Martin's Xbox One fried on him, and I'm hoping he gets it fixed. But if he doesn't, we'll play Brutal Legend instead. And my God, this is a funny game. It's back when Jack Black hadn't lost his mind. He was a popular person. And it's a funny game, man. It's a lot of cool stuff going on there. So look for that Wednesday at 10 p.m. Central Time. And also on Wednesday, you want to check out State of the Atmosphere. That's our pop culture show where we're going to be talking about, we're definitely going to be covering the finale of House of the Dragon. We actually got to cover the last 2 episodes of House of the Dragon. We didn't have time to do last Sunday's episode this time around because we were talking about Deadpool and the MCU, the whole show. But look forward to our pop culture update, the Sweeney Spot, all that good stuff you're used to on State of the Atmosphere at 5:30 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday. And then Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time, it's Sketching the Privateer, the story of America's Pirate Patriot. You get to watch me work on my comic book from the ground up, a guy that's never done a comic book before. But a lot of my friends tell me I need to do it, and I've been working on it, and I'm actually going to be reshuffling my schedule so I can get more work done on it. One of the video game streams is going to go away here pretty soon. But until me and Martin get everything worked out with a way out, whether or not we're going to play it or not, I'll keep the Wednesday show until we find out about that. But anyway, Sketching the Privateer comes your way at 1 p.m. Central Time on Fridays. And then also on Fridays, you want to check out our good friend John that's here on this panel. And Knock also joins him on this show. It's called Game Night with John on Pop Culture Minefield's channel, and he's playing through the Telltale series of The Walking Dead. He just finished Michonne recently, which means you're on to...
Well, no, I've still got.
No, we're still
one
on
more
it.
chapter.
You're still on Michonne? Okay.
I've got one more chapter to finish in Michonne.
Okay.
Because it's only 3 chapters, and then I've got. Then I'll start. What's new? I forgot what it's called, but it's basically It's basically season 3.
Gotcha.
Of The Walking Dead. We're back with Clementine.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, you guys go support them over on Pop Culture Minefield's channel every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. They play for a couple hours, and go troll John. He needs it, man. He likes his video games. So anyway, and then it's back around to Sundays with us. So guys, thanks for being here. I know I enjoyed it. I'm actually pumped and ready to go play a game right now. I mean, this time of year is my favorite time of year. The summer, this is the last month of the summer. We got the preseason, and then my favorite time of the year, man, fall gets here, and it's still hot down here in Louisiana, but we've got football, and that means that the colder weather's coming, and it's going to be fun, man. I can't wait. Thanks for being here, Knock, John, and look, guys, I want you to like, share, subscribe, follow John and Pop Culture Minefield and That 70s Rock Fan. Like, share, subscribe, all their stuff. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless. I don't know how they didn't take Bobby McRae out of that stadium in cuffs. That friggin' Kurt Warner hit never gets old.
I can't wait until we see more Taylor Swift.
Have you seen the AI version of her playing football? Have you seen that? I'll show you after the show. You guys, we'll see you next